Well, unfortunately, they don't. I have not ever been paid by Lenovo. I receive models to review, and I've received the models for the giveaway, but in fact, I will be paying the shipping to send those models to the winners. So in fact, I've actually spent more money with Lenovo than I've ever made directly from Lenovo. Now, of course, there is the element of receiving affiliate commissions on the backside of one of your purchases. If you make a purchase through the links in my video, then yes, I do get a kickback. But I want to talk about a lot of the conversation that's been happening in the comment sections about why I've been reviewing 2022 content. I've just been seeing a lot of complaints against my channel about how I'm operating. And I want to tell you why my channel exists, what my perspective is on these comments, and why I'm still talking about 2022 laptops in 2023. First and foremost, I've got some notes here. There is still more available and on a fantastic deal. There are so many laptops that are amazing for creative professionals that are still available right now, and they're going on intense sales because the 2023 models are coming out. And there's so many people that don't need the latest and the greatest. I myself, running this channel, do not need the latest and the greatest. This is a Legion 5 Pro, plenty of performance. The exact spec of this model is around $1,400 to $1,500 right now. Okay, that is an insane price for this model. This comes with fantastic performance and is all I need as a 6K BRAW video editor. Okay, so right there off the bat, if you're editing anything less than 6K BRAW, say you're editing 4K, this is even more performance than you need. We have not seen drop frames out of laptops of this nature, let's say all the way back to the Ryzen 7 5800H, and it did not drop frames in 4K. So you would, in essence, be wasting your money to get the 2022 or even the 2023 model. And so that's why I often recommend people get on the cusp of the newest models the previous model that is still available. So in essence, 2022 has all the performance that you need for most creator tasks, especially when we're looking at graphic designers, photographers, and digital artists. You got all you need in 2022. Now, the new models at best will be available in March or April. That's at best. I saw no stock in the Legion 5 Pros all the way up through about June or July. And if I did see stock of those models, it was very spotty. Only now am I starting to see consistent stock as far as US base is concerned in 2023 for last year's models, which to me is quite laughable. So with all of this craze for the new models are coming out right around the corner, you better get ready for them. Why are you reviewing all this old content? It's not old content. It's very relevant content for somebody who's looking for a deal, who wants to buy a laptop now, and wants to know which is the best laptop to buy right now. Okay, so a lot of these laptops will not be available or even released until March or April, and then maybe the stock will be spotty, through the end of next year. I mean, we don't know what the supply chain will be like coming into 2023, now that we're in 2023. And so there's a lot that's not going to be available. They're even talking about Ryzen having such bad supply chain issues that they're not even expecting them to be dropping till midsummer. That's why a lot of the laptops that had Ryzen last year are now having Intel this year, because Intel has better stock and better supply to put into these laptops. And so these are really some things to keep in mind when you're trying to pull the trigger on a new laptop. The laptop you might be wanting may be 3 to 6 to 9 months down the road. Now, I want to be a channel that people can trust and talks about what you can buy now. And, I realized I didn't honor that all the time last year because the stock of laptops was so spotty last year. I remember I talked about the Z13. I talked about the VivoBook Pro X. And these were laptops that when I talked about them, they were not readily available. However, when I did film the initial review, I looked online and I was like, okay, cool, it's in stock, it's right there. And then when I released the video, it had gone out of stock. And so that was the thing that I realized is things were coming and going so quickly last year. I couldn't even keep track or keep up when I released the video if it was going to be there. And sometimes I'd release it, it was ready, it was available, and then like a week or two later, it would be out of stock. And so the market right now for buying laptops is very inconsistent. And I want to be a channel that is trusted for what you can buy now, not what's coming in the future. There's always something coming in the future. Now, with that in mind, How do these releases work? Okay, so I am a smaller channel. I completely understand that. I have almost 100,000 subscribers. That's a huge goal, and I'm very excited to be getting there. However, one of my favorite laptop reviewers of all time, I'm sure you know him very well, is Dave 2D. Close to 4 million, gets everything before anybody because let's admit it, he is one of the best. I just love his reviews. So basically what happens with these pre-releases when Dave or Matthew Moniz or Marquez Brownlee or Justine get these laptops, they're getting them on an embargo. Okay, so the laptop comes in, they're able to look at it. Sometimes they're able to test it, sometimes they're not. Most of the time for these embargoes, these are like engineering samples, so they're not allowed to test them. Okay, so the embargo lifts, and at that point, they can tell you about the product. Okay, that moment where they can tell you about the product is the official announcement launch. Because that doesn't mean it's available in stores. That doesn't mean that's even going to be the final product. I mean, even in the latest video of the dual screen OLED laptop, Dave talked about the fact that they didn't even know which processor was really going to be in it. I mean, he had an idea just based off of like specs and what's been from last year and yada, but he really didn't even know what was going to be in it. And he couldn't even talk about it. Okay, and then from there, we have the final available units in the stores for consumers like myself or yourself, or even Dave if he's in the market to buy a laptop. So at that point, you can purchase the laptop. However, the laptops hitting mainstream market from the point where the initial announcement is made is usually anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Sometimes even it can be even 9 months if they run into issues. So what happens with these pre-launches is they're trying to get you amped up and excited for the new product. And by my comment section, it is working, right? They are getting you looking out into the future and waiting for those newer products, which are sometimes better. Most of the time are better. And we usually see anywhere from a 15 to 30% increase in performance. Now, I think this year is going to be one of those years that we see that 30% increase in performance from both Intel and Ryzen. I've been seeing benchmarks and it's looking really good. However, is that 30% increase in performance necessary for you? That is a question you have to ask yourself because like I mentioned earlier, right now, these laptops that are currently available are perfectly suited for 4K and even 6K B-RAW and even some 6K red footage editing. Okay, so to purchase that laptop out into the future would really bring you no extra value. And in fact, you could get a great deal on a current laptop right now. Okay, so that is how we're looking at this whole launch sequence and how they're always pushing us to the next thing. And if we're not careful, we talked about this with Matt Moniz on my channel during the interview we had with him. If we are not careful as YouTube channels, we are a part of the issue of the promoting the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And that is not necessarily the channel I want to be. I don't always want to be pushing you to the latest and the greatest. I've often said that you should keep what you have until it no longer works. You don't need to always be upgrading if it's working. I still am sitting on a Ryzen 3900X build for my editing, for all the work that I do, okay? I'm probably going to upgrade into Intel 13th gen in this coming iteration, but that's, I think, 4 years that I've been using that system. Okay, and so it's not always about upgrading. It's about getting what works, using it till it dies, or until it just is on the fritz. And mine's basically on the fritz. It like shuts down randomly all the time. So it's kind of impeding on my workflow. That is the point at which you want to make an upgrade. Okay, so you've been seeing a lot of shorts come out on the channel from some previous content from 2022. That is intentional. There is a lot of great laptops from 2022. There are a lot of great features in these laptops from 2022 that are still absolutely fantastic coming into 2023. I'm about to film my lineup videos, which are going to feature a lot of 2022 laptops that are great for creative professionals, on sale, and ready to be purchased right now. Okay, so the reason that I'm launching those shorts goes back to the main reason I started my channel, and that's to educate creative professionals on the right laptop for their needs, not necessarily for their wants, right? I feel like we a lot of times confuse wants and needs when we're buying products. What creators need is a laptop that's capable of the performance to run the programs that they are using. And when I first went and purchased a laptop years ago, right before I started my channel, and I switched from Mac to Windows years ago, I didn't know what to purchase. I purchased 2 generations older, okay, which was not good because the generation that was like right about to come out or even had come out, I can't remember the exact timing, was substantially better. Okay. And that is what I don't want creators to fall into. And so it's this fine balance between, okay, yes, you should wait for that next generation, and no, you shouldn't wait, but here's the one you should buy because this one has the performance you need and it's at the price point that you will like. You know, for instance, one laptop that I think you should wait to purchase in 2023 is the Asus Republic of Gamer Flow X13, okay? Look at this little tiny trackpad. This trackpad gets a whole lot bigger on the 2023 model. And that would be a reason to wait for this model in 2023. However, this model is on sale right now. And if you don't care about a bigger trackpad because you're going to use a mouse, this would be a great buy. And so that is the whole point of my channel, is to take content, that all this noise that's out there, you know, all these enthusiasts, all this hype, and say, okay, here's what you need. I know you're a creator. I know you're focusing on your craft. I know you don't have time to get into the weeds and dig super deep and figure out all the intricacies. You don't need to really know all that. I think you need to know some general ideas, and then you need to know how it works in the program, and then that leads you to a good quality purchase of a product that you can use and works well for your needs. And that is the purpose of my channel, okay? There is a lot of amazing channels that dig deep into the weeds. One of my friends now, I can call him a friend, which is really cool, is Jared's Tech. He is somebody who digs deep into the weeds, lets you know every nook and cranny about the laptop. You know, my technique actually kind of works against me in building subscribership because I get you what you need and I say, okay, come back in a couple of years. And, you know, it's been a little frustrating at times where, you know, I feel like I wish it would grow a little faster. But I'm really happy when I see the comments of people who say, wow, you made that so simple. Now I can understand what laptop I need to purchase. Now I understand what I need. Like, you made it so easy. I got the laptop. I love it. It's great. That is what I want to see. And so these are things that I'm considering when recommending more and more content. If I have problems with laptops, I'm considering, do I recommend this laptop next year? You know, is this brand doing what it takes to earn the business of not only, you know, myself if I were going to be purchasing a laptop, but more importantly, they earn the business of my community. And that is why I'm putting it out and talking about 2022 models, even when 2023 models are coming out. Again, they're not even out. I can't even talk about them yet. And so I still think there is so much value and so much to be gained from purchasing an on-sale device that is just as powerful for your needs. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know if you haven't. Love to hear the negative feedback and the positive, and I'll see you here in the next video.